Oh, what an evening it was, huh? What an evening last night was. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't pull that forward a little bit. Crazy. We did 3 and a bit hours last night. Last night, people. It was crazy. But what we all thinking, how we keeping? Let's make sure, see how this looks. Yep, looking good. Get a few people in the building. And let's talk about last night. Do you know something? When it's good to do, I like doing these lives the next day, the aftermath ones, because in the immediate aftermath of watching something live, it's a kind of, how do I put it? You've a lot of thoughts and everything kind of going on. At least when we do these, we can kind of reflect on everything. It's a bit more clear cut. Hello, all, big up. Full fight legend evening, big up. Well, that was an interesting 45 minutes, wasn't it? Damn right, it was an interesting 45 minutes. It was an interesting fight. It was an interesting everything. Like, I mean, I was pretty much ready to switch off, as you saw on the live when I seen AJ. I was like, what the hell? I was looking at it as I was talking to the live last night. I was like, what the hell is he doing? And I was kind of like, what the hell is this guy doing? So when I turned this down and that on, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Big up to Emerald. Big up to Ben. Salute to you, man. Hope you're keeping well. Not first, sad face. Yeah. What can you do, Ali? What can you do? Big up to G-Man. Big up every single time. Top notch. You find Son of Swords. Yep. Yeah, I'm probably going to go out to Swords for a little bit. I'll probably go out for a little bit after this. Not drink alcohol, but just out. I came up with a smart strategy, people. What I did was, I normally do a review of the week, record that like late in the evening. So I've already made a start on it, and I'm already 18 minutes into it. So there'll be a little kind of gap in tomorrow's video. You'll notice it, more than likely anyway. So I don't have to do as much when I finish this. I've got most of it already done. Good evening, G-Man. He didn't do too bad. Did he really? No. Look, here's the thing, right? I felt Usyk won it clearly, right? But AJ still did a lot better than he did the first time. Not everyone can be the best, but effort and commitment should always be given. Should always be paid for, but you're giving respect, basically. Still wish he threw more volume punches. Yeah, I think he tried that, but I think he was just missing a lot, and that was fatiguing him. Enjoyed last night's live stream. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Good evening to Ricky Super. Good evening, sir. How are you, my man? How are you? Boy, he was bad, wasn't he? Heavyweight boxing will be in a terrible state if he becomes champion. I think we've got some guys as well up and coming who can help it. I think Jared Anderson is really going to be a force to be reckoned with moving forward. Major K Dots, evening, gents. Big up. Big up to Colin, evening, folks. Are you straight edge, my dude? No. Well, I don't smoke or do drugs. I don't do that. But I'm not for me, right? I do drink alcohol, yeah, but more on occasions. I kind of really have to, and even then, I don't drink much. I kind of have to be kind of in the mood to drink it, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm just trying to think, like, when was a few weeks ago, I think it was when Boazzi fought Richards. My friends were like, do you fancy coming for a few drinks? And that night I just said, yeah, to hell with it, I might as well. So I just did, and that's one of those examples. But I'm not straight edged, not like that. Like, obviously I don't smoke or take any drugs, but I would drink alcohol I said, more an occasion. I'm not one of these guys who's like, on a Friday evening, living for Friday, get pints in. It's never really been me. And yeah, I don't know. It's just never really been me. So I don't know. Yes, G-Man, big up the aftermath stream. Exactly. Big up. Evening to G-Man. Evening. How much was that bench? Does anyone see, before I said, was he paid off? Did anyone see the interview Rob Tepper did with Glenn Feldman? Where it's so bizarre when you see a judge. Like, you never see anyone interview him. So shout out to Rob Tepper for doing that. And he was just kind of real non-committal to any questions. Like, real non-committal. It was crazy. Apart from Usyk, apart from Usyk's invincibility skill set, impeccable, credible skill set, he should. What a tough and durable fighter he is. We forget what a tough. Yeah, I mean, like Usyk can take it. Like he is not one of these fighters who's incredibly skilled but has a fragility there. He can definitely take it as well. I actually thought this was easily one of AJ's best performances. It was. You know, he did a very good job performing in that fight. Like I think at the end of the day, right, we have to look at this in a sense of Usyk is one of those fighters that comes along once every now and again. And I said it in review of the week episode, you'll see it tomorrow, that in a way we're going to look back in years to come on Usyk and we're going to be like, yes, we got to see him at his best because he's a tremendous talent, a tremendous fighter. So AJ can be good, and he was very good last night. He was very, very good. But it just wasn't enough to beat Usyk. Usyk is genuinely just that good. Evening, G-Man. Spent my Sunday doing jobs at home while slowly processing AJ's. Yeah, it was just strange. You know, it was. I said at the time, it was, to me, it was out of character. And, you know, I don't think even if you, like people say like that is AJ's character. But for me, I kind of think, how do I say it? You could say that's AJ's character, yeah, but not to just outburst it like that. That's the kind of bit I felt that was so strange. The fact that it was just such a kind of random, give me the mic, let's do this. I was like, that's a bit strange. He's not, could I envisage him in a situation where if they asked him, he might have let an outburst like that, yeah. But to initiate it himself, I was kind of like, okay. Yo, good evening all. Yeah, and salute to Joe Stunner Boxing. If you haven't already, lads, Joe Stunner Boxing, there on screen. Just type that in on screen. I think, Joe, you're nearing 700 subs. You're near 700, so hopefully a shout out here will get you closer to 700. Putting in some great work, Joe Stunner Boxing. I'm going to call it now. I think Usyk beats Fury. That's a shout, man. That's a shout. AJ was robbed. I think you're probably the only person who thinks that, mate. I don't think he was at all, and I think there are very few people who believe that. Should AJ have tried to put it on Usyk earlier than the 9th round? I know he would gas. I knew he would gas once he can get Usyk out of there. See, I don't think it would have made much of a difference. I think that Usyk would have adjusted and he would have got through it. And I think that if he'd done it earlier, we would be in a situation where maybe Usyk could have got rid of him because AJ would have thrown so much into it, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, for me, I think that I just think there are some fighters who just have your number, and I think Usyk may very well be that. Fury needs Sugar back in his corner. He needs to take Usyk serious. He definitely does. I think your bottle is full of vodka. It definitely ain't. That's 100% water, mate. It definitely ain't vodka. I've never been a vodka drinker anyway. Like, really, spirits, I don't really drink any spirits. Like, the only drink I really drink is beer. So, like, that's really the height of it. I don't think Usyk beats Fury after the last performance. I feel like Fury's size will be the key factor. I agree. AJ turned himself into a meme in 5 minutes flat. Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. Mate, thank you so much, Joe, for the £5. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that every single time. And shout out to Joe Stunner Boxing for the super chat. I'm doing some good work on your channel as well, man. Don't get me wrong, I watch a lot of your videos. I haven't watched your latest one. I just got started watching that before I had to go live. So I'll go back and have a look at the AJ breakdown video. No shame in losing twice. Exactly, like, and you know, he definitely made a good account of himself. Certainly more in the second fight. There's no shame in that. Usyk was a very special fighter. AJ can still move on and regroup. The meltdown was just raw emotion. And I think now AJ, I think that AJ, there's a lot of good he can take from this. A lot of good. I was going to say Rob McCracken there, but Rob Garcia seems to... Rob Garcia and Fernandez, they seem to have brought out, in terms of AJ's skill set, they seem to have brought a little bit of something out in there. So if he can do that in a couple of months, another camp, we could see a better AJ. Excuse me. But now I'm not sure. With Usyk's amazing fitness and engine, I can see Fury fading in the later rounds. Mate, if you gave me a fiver and you said put a bet down on who wins, I would pick Fury, but only just. Mental breakdown. Some are saying that. all that throwing the belts out the ring was a joke, and all the media excuses, excusing him for it. Imagine that had been the other way around. I didn't like the throwing the belts out. I thought that was a bit kind of like, I didn't understand. That one to me was just strange. Why he was throwing the belts out was bizarre to me. It wasn't like this fight. But see, here's the thing, right? If this had been a fight, a bit like, say, Jack Catterall, Josh Taylor, where we all thought maybe, look, AJ, it surprised us and he's won this fight, and they didn't give it to him, then I would have more understanding of it. But Usyk won this fight. I mean, everyone at ringside seen that. Big up G-Man in the chat. AJ should be proud. He did the best he could. Maybe more time. Exactly. Could be better. But there's no argument. Oleksandr Usyk is the best in the world. Big up to Rowan Perry. How are you, my man? G-Man, what do you think Hrgovic does when he gets his title shot? Well, I suspect they might do Hrgovic versus AJ next, because I think Usyk might be held up with Fury, and you never know. Maybe Hrgovic won't want to do it. Maybe he'll think, okay, well, if they're going to fight, I can get a vacant title when it's done. Looks good against people who can't box. It's going to be interesting. Oh, well, I'd pick Fury every day over AJ. Definitely. I don't care about AJ's word. Bit odd. Not a Mike Tyson level outburst. We need to put it in perspective. I think AJ should have tried to get Usyk respect early by hitting him with something big early. I think he tried. Look, he tried to. You could see he was trying to open up and let big shots off, but he just wasn't setting them up. I think that's a big thing. What it was. Exposed. It was a weird performance. The finer boxing takes the victory. Fury stops Usyk, and anytime, man, anytime. Chat's coming in so goddamn quick. Would you be interested? I'd watch it. I would. I'd watch it. Wouldn't be as interested in it as it would be in this one, but I'd watch it. I'd say we probably will. There's a good chance. Either that or Dylan White. Some people are saying Jarrell Miller. I'm not gonna be frank. I kind of would still like to see that fight. It's as weird as that is. I would kind of still like to see it. Yeah, I've been a big Usyk fan for ages. I also think that this fight we will look back on fondly. I woke my kids up at 1 a.m. here in South Africa. You're in South Africa, mate. Shout out, and the whole family watched the fight, man. That's a memory there. That's a memory there from that one for you, mate. I remember when AJ fought Vladimir Klitschko the first time. I was in my best friend's house. And me and him, we were both we were both Vladimir Klitschko. We were saying he's going to win. And we were kind of rooting for AJ, but we were also kind of rooting for Klitschko because we like Klitschko as well. And me and my friend, from the fifth round on, we couldn't sit down. We were just constantly standing up and screaming at the TV. It was crazy. It was just the two of us there. So me and him were both come on. We were I'll never forget that. We were afraid to even go toilet in case we took too long and missed a minute or something. Gee, don't you think AJ should lean on Usyk and use his weight? I'm surprised he didn't do it more, I'll tell you that. Did you hear about Tyson Fury's cut? I seen that. R.I.P. That's very sad. Very tragic. Very sad. Do you drink Guinness or any stout? Not really. I have drank Guinness, but it's not really. I don't mind it. If there was nothing else there, I would drink it. I prefer Moretti. That's the only kind of beer I'd really drink these days. Yeah, pretty much only Moretti I'd really drink these days. Again, I'm not really a big drinker, mate. So I can happily go to a pub and just drink juice or something. It doesn't bother me. Yeah, beer with good carbs. Hit the like button if you could. There's 147 in the building, and we've got 41 likes. So if we could, smash the like button, please. Joe Star got the bag, any? Hey, G-Man, don't think Fury will fight Usyk. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what he does next. Can't work out if Zhang is better or if Hrgovic is worse. Yeah, it was a strange fight. It was a really, really strange fight. I don't think Garcia would. No, I hope he does. I hope he does. I think we definitely saw improvements, and I definitely hope he does. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? It's fair to say that place looked like it was baking hot. So you could definitely say that if you're struggling with the stamina, the heat's not going to help. That's the one thing though. You're correct there. That's the one thing I don't like, that he wasn't winning the fight, but they were telling him that. Maybe they feel that's the way they need to keep AJ calm. Maybe they feel if they tell him he's losing, he'll get reckless. I find it odd that how AJ always says the belts don't define him, but at the presser he said he'd be a 3-time champion. Yeah, again, there's a lot of out of character things coming here, the contradictory things. Top 15, does that mean? Yes, they could. Yes, you're right. You're right about that. They could. I don't know, will they? Well, it's Usyk and Fury, so I don't really. It's going to be an interesting one. Sugar would have been perfect for AJ, but the Fury, the Kronk style would work very good for AJ. I agree with you there. The problem is there with the Furies. I would go with Sanchez based on that. And that would be an interesting fight. I seen someone saying China. Chisora in China, could you imagine? If Usyk can beat Fury, he must be one of the greatest fighters of all time. Beating the Gypsy King won't be easy. Man, if Usyk beats Fury and he's undisputed at heavyweight and cruiserweight, seriously, we're going to have some serious conversations about Usyk all time. I mean, he probably is already. Well, he's arguably the greatest cruiserweight who's ever lived. I think when he retires and when all said and done and we look back on it, it's we're really gonna enjoy looking back on Usyk. Put it like that. I get focused on AJ's stress levels, and we focus on domestic fighters. But let's be real: if we think AJ has stress, what about Usyk's stress? Usyk has that mindset where he just seems stoic in every way. This is a bold statement, but I think Wilder and Fury beat Usyk. That is a bold statement. I'd be picking AJ or picking Usyk to beat Wilder. Yeah, he probably would. Although Hrgovic seems to take a fairly decent shot. How can the majority of us knew what he needed to do, but not the training team? Well, again, I'm not a trainer, and I've never really looked at going down that avenue. It's not something that really interests me, so I can only say from what I can see. I'm not a trainer, so they probably have a different way of looking at things, probably assess things, and maybe they felt that was the best plan. He's still a top heavyweight, exactly. Yeah, Miller would be interesting. I'd still like to see it. Oh, God, no. AJ beats Yoka, man. AJ beats Yoka, stops him. Did you see Chisora? I did see that. Could you imagine Derek Chisora in China? Could you imagine that? I seen the interview with Eddie from IFL where he talked about boxing commissions taking a lot of money off AJ. AJ lost a bit of faith with the boxing commissions. I don't know. He probably would pick him over Joyce and Dubois. WBA are appalled AJ are corrupt, applaud AJ for throwing the belt. WBA don't give a crap. Like and share it on Twitter. Boom. Thank you. Mate, hopefully soon. It's been a good few days. We're at 8,957 subs, right? 8,957. So we're obviously doing pretty well in terms of the sub department. We're 40 off 9K. Could surely do it by the end of the week, but hopefully in the next few days. Because obviously I've got something on tomorrow that I'm really anxious for, and I hope it goes well. And seeing 9K would be be putting me in the right frame of mind. I'm already in a good place with it, but you know what I mean? You're nervous about these things. You're nervous. You're just kind of worried. I'm a bit. G-Man, my main man for boxing, crossed the damn pond. Big up. Stylistically, Joshua or Usyk a harder fight? Oh, Usyk, definitely. I think he beats Joshua. Frank said Fury already agreed to fight Usyk before the last fight. Well, we need to see. If this fight gets made, man, it's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting. Probably be on BT Sport as well. They'd be loving life. G-Man, I know you are already back in Usyk. Nah, man, if they make it, I'm picking Fury. Yes, I seen that, and that's I love that fight, man. I think Zurdo is live. Do not sleep on Zurdo Ramirez at all. Sleep on him at your peril. Saw that, speak to my super, but yeah, that was bad. He was just not wanting that. He's talking about Glenn Feldman, by the way. Shout out to Rob Tebber. He tried to interview Glenn Feldman, and he just kept saying, "Speak to my supervisor." Crazy. He knew damn well he effed up. Every single thing AJ does is structured, and I think we're always going to turn that way on him. This is what you get when you target audience is the glory seeking. Well, as I said, like, I mean, I'm not overly unhappy at the fact that we're not seeing a lot of these glory seeking idiots around, because a lot of them really are stupid. Like, and I'm not talking about people who watch my videos and stuff like that. I'm talking about these little soy boys who are like, oh, AJ's a ledge. Do you know any other boxer? Well, I only know AJ's a ledge. Yes. And my parents paid for my, you know, those little, you know, those people. AJ's a ledge. Oh my God. Those guys. Oh, I met AJ once 5 years ago. I'm sure he still remembers me. If Fury really had been to Sugar Hill, AJ should be on the phone. He should indeed. Let's have a read of this. Thank you, Stephen. Evening, G-Man. As I told Jamie, I'm sharing the love and money for collecting on either fight by decision. That is a seriously good bet. 7-1 on either fighter. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. But that's a flipping good odd. That's a flipping good odd you got on that one. Born a Blue TV. All glory seekers with Fury now. They will be as well. G-Man, when are you going to make a video with Rob Tebert? Yeah, we will. Hopefully this week. Hopefully this week. I need to text Rob, but hopefully this week we will get a video. I missed where I was in the chat there. If you could watch Sky interviewing Garcia, AJ's lack of heart mentality, maybe that's why he's consistently telling him he's winning. Possibly. I don't think AJ's cardio must have a limit. It could be training too. By now, you would be thinking the training team would improve it if they could. It could be just AJ has points, something he could do. Think AJ will go down as a legend? Hard to say. That's really hard to say. Donnie Palmer. Oh, Jesus, man. Do you remember him? The 7-foot guy that Joe Joyce knocked out in a round? You'd like to see him rematch White? Okay. I'm missing a few chats here, but apologies, people. There's just loads of them. There's 185 in the building, so, you know, if you haven't already, hit subscribe. I appreciate that. I appreciate most of you are, but just in case you're not, hit subscribe. We all want it. We want to get your boy to 9K. Because then it's 10. Flipping 10K, lads, by the end of the year. What do you think about Dubois versus White? There's still an element of risk in that fight, Ben. There is. I'll tell you what. If this was Joe Joyce versus Dylan White, I'd be picking, even, to be fair, even if it was prime for prime, I'd pick Joe Joyce over Dylan White. I just think stylistically Joe Joyce would beat Dylan White. Oh shit, drop the mic. But Daniel Dubois, right? Daniel Dubois, to get a scalp like Dylan White in a quote-unquote world title fight, they probably do it on pay-per-view as well. It is a good look. Now, they're probably going to offer Dylan White crazy money for that fight, and of course Dylan White will take it. It's a sort of world title. It's not really, but they'll sell it as one. Dylan White still has power. He still can counter-punch quite well. Has he regressed in terms of punch resistance? Yes. But has he regressed in terms of his fighting ability? Like, is he going to be a shot fighter? I don't think he is. So I think he's live there. Look who it is. I got to read that one. The lovely Karma Serene. Thank you so much for the 20 quid, my dear. Appreciate that. I hope you're keeping well. After last night, I think the only thing that beats Usyk is considerable size and or speed. Neither AJ has. Now, Fury can bear down on Usyk and really slow him down and really slow down his momentum. Usyk's strength, momentum Usyk's strengths, and really slow down his game and slow his game down. Sorry, I was reading that all wrong. Slow his game down. Momentum is Usyk's strength. I agree, and I think Fury knows how to rough up these little guys. Now, Usyk's not little, you know what I mean? If they're fast, moving around, he knows how to make it a big guy fight. So I agree, and that's why I think he beats Usyk. I think Fury will beat him. But thank you for the 20 quid. I really hope you're keeping well. I know you're a big AJ fan. So big up. I appreciate the 20 quid. I hope you're keeping well, my dear. I hope you're keeping well. Where was I? I'm missing loads of these. Shout out to Outmatch Boxing. How are you keeping, my man? How are you keeping? Outmatch and Joe in the building. And big up to Outmatch. Recently just hit 1,000 subs, man. Recently hit 1,000 subs. I'm delighted for you. Hopefully next it's the monetization. I know it might not be much, but when you do, it's a nice little feeling, man. It's a nice little feeling. But big up to Outmatch Boxing. Give him a little sub as well if you haven't done a great video today on AJ. A great video on him. Do you think Usyk versus Fury does more buys than Fury? Than what? Wait. I'm assuming you mean AJ versus Usyk, because you're saying Usyk Fury doesn't do more buys than Usyk Fury. It probably would do more buys than AJ Fury. All the glory secrets with Fury now. Tyson's a ledge. I met him in my dreams. I'm sure he remembers it. Are you a City fan? Of course I am. They're third in the league and Liverpool are winning. Did I say City? I'm a Liverpool fan. You know, Jurgen Klopp's a ledge. They're the kind of those guys. Her and Paige Feldman are. You wouldn't know. Frank would make. Yep. Oh, he'd make it, man. He'd make it more than that. He'd make it more than that. Fish eyes. He's no cash cow now. Well, if Conor Benn gets ironed out by Eubank, I mean, he really is in a bad situation. Yeah, that was bad form. Like, they were Usyk's titles. AJ's a ledge. G-Man, early perspective, but I feel Ben Whittaker doesn't suit Sugar Hill. Overdoing it with the 12-inch when his arsenal much deeper, with the 1-2 when his arsenal's much deeper. Do you know something, right? I'm not going to say he shouldn't be with Sugar Hill, but with his athleticism, you might want to try a bit of work with Adam Boot. I don't really rate Adam Boot too highly, but when he's got a fighter who's athletic, he can really do good things with them. What happens now? DAZN invested in AJ so much money. Don't they have a lifetime deal? What does that mean? Well, no. AJ has the lifetime deal with Matchroom, but he has a deal with DAZN for the foreseeable future. I'm sure there are contingencies that they can make. I really don't know. It's an interesting one. I liked your Hugh Grant impression. AJ is a ledge. AJ's a ledge. What do you think of Smith at light heavyweight? I think he's much improved under McGirt. Yeah, but his defense was shocking. It really was bad. Really bad. Show support. Hit the like button if you could, people. If you could. 200 of you guys in the building. Lads and lassies in the building, I mean, as well. Hope you're all well. Hope everyone's well. And thanks again to Karma Serene. Big up. I think Zhang in China is the way to go with Joshua, would then position himself to win a vacant. And actually, that's an interesting show, actually, there. Him against Zhang. You know, Zhang certainly, I think, shows that he has a good chin. I think Zhang, that's not a bad show, actually. It's an interesting one. Do you think fighters are regretting going to Saudi and basically fighting inside an oven? I don't know. I'm sure for the money they're getting, they don't mind it. But I'd say it's more the heavyweights who are having a harder time with it, because you could see, like, you know, when you just, if you've ever gone to a boxing event, they do be quite warm in there. It does be quite warm in a boxing arena. But I can only imagine what it was like in there. I mean, I'd say it was horrible. For the heat, like, I can imagine that. Did you see the referee in the Hrgovic fight? How much the sweat everywhere on him. What do you think of Gary Cully signing with Matchroom? Yeah, actually, that's a good shout. I seen that, and he had the Tree Arena in the background. Lads, I think we're getting the Matchroom show in Ireland. I think we're getting the Dublin show. I don't know who's going to headline. Might be Cully, might be Katie Taylor, but I think we're getting the show in the Tree Arena. If that's the case, I will be I'll be happy for that, because boxing in Ireland needs that so bad. And a good fighter like Gary Cully, and he is a good fighter, signing with Matchroom, I think that's going to be a big, big deal. It might be a big deal for Ireland and boxing in Ireland. It would help it out so much. So I'm hoping that's happening, and it is in the Tree Arena. The Tree Arena is only a 20-minute drive from my house. Well, it's a bit longer than 20 minutes, but it's around about 20 minutes on the motorway. So I hope that happens. I really do. And I think it's a good move for him. I know he's fought on a few Frank Warren shows back in the past, but Gary Cully has a lot of potential. They'll probably try and do him and Maxie Hughes. Wouldn't be shocked, actually, if that's the fight they actually do for Gary Cully in the Tree Arena, maybe for his title, his IBO title, because they were meant to fight years ago. And I think Maxie Hughes ended up fighting John O'Carroll instead, getting the win over John O'Carroll. And yeah, it's going to be real interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see what he does. I like that move. I don't think Fury beat Wallin that big. He beat Wallin, but it was competitive. We've never seen Fury in a fast fighter with the high IQ boxing set that Usyk has. It'd be fascinating. It would be. It would be. And again, Usyk would never. Tyson Fury wouldn't be able to mentally play the games with Usyk. And you could be in a situation where Usyk is mentally playing the games with him. Fury is a joke, all this mental health backstory and taking the mick out of Joshua at the same time. Like this. Where was Garcia post-fight press conference? Just missing. That's a good question. I don't know. Shout out to Base the Kid, the hardcore casual. I've been enjoying your videos as well, mate. Shout out to you, man. Just here to drop a like while you're at the gym. Enjoy. Stay blessed, everyone. Shout out to Base. AJ's a ledge. Sounds like he walks around with the mug of tea and a pot of pants in his head. That's what people are like, man. All good here, my man. Glad I was able to catch the live. Glad you're on as well, man. Glad you're on as well. You're always welcome on here, man. Any single time. Have to get you. We'll do something again soon. Or maybe I'll do it on yours. But shout out to Outmatch. Hitting the 1,000 subs. It's a great little milestone. It's a great little one because it does pick up a bit when you hit 1,000. It does. I wouldn't be shocked if they make it. No, oh Jesus, no, please no. Do you think AJ's had too many yes men around him? I don't think it's just that. I think AJ maybe just has too many men in general. And maybe he's just constantly wanting to know from this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And maybe he's just overthinking things. Evening. I don't get the speculation about AJ DAZN. DAZN, we're going to win no matter what. If he wins, he's got the belts. And that's marketability. But if he loses, they can really market the comeback. I guess you're right that they could do that. It just depends, really. It just depends how many are still sticking around. As I said, a lot of them were glory seekers. What do you think of AJ's corner? It's like wild. There are too many yes men. None of them bootlickers, not telling him something is wrong. Again, like maybe they know if they tell AJ something's up, he might overreact, overthink. Who knows? He's the big bang. Middle East, where the money is at, yeah, they don't care. They're happy to get that. That was the comeback. He should have fought in the UK. AJ will always gas in the later rounds. He's very low body fat percentage. Excess fat is needed for the energy of the body. It's up to Reese. Big up to you. Irish boxing has been in the drought. Irish boxing has been on its knees for a decade more. You know, I mean, like 2019, we had 2 shows in the Republic. 2. And a couple up in Belfast. It's crazy. Hopefully this is the start of getting a few shows in. The fighters must have been sweating like Giggsy before the verdict. Oh, man. Wilder versus Usyk. Who wins? Usyk. Almost doing the splits with the sweat. I know, man. That was bad. That was bad. Big up to KZ. Big up to G-Man Boxing. Keep at it, man. I can honestly say you have the same huge rise as Ade recently. Good luck. And big up to Ade. He's been doing some good work over there with the zone. Yeah, man. It's been crazy. It's been fun. Long may it continue. Long may it last. We're getting there, man. We're getting there. We're getting there. And I hope to God this continues. I hope this is a precursor for tomorrow, that things will be really, really, really good for me tomorrow as well. What will you do to celebrate when you get 10K? That's a good question. I haven't thought about it really, like what I do. Well, I have, but I don't really know. I mean, I'll be obviously happy, but I really don't know what I could do to kind of give back and say thanks. I don't know. But definitely, like, it's going to be crazy good. Like, I mean, I'm going to be so happy when I see that 10K. It's like, since I hit 1K, that's all I've really thought about after that. Like, but I don't know what I'll do, man. Too many men. I think AJ has inferior complex when it comes to Fury. Well, Fury is he just oozes confidence. If Fury beats Usyk and becomes undisputed, would he get ranked up in all-time greats? Well, he'll be the first guy to do it in the 4-belt era. He'd be the first person to Lennox Lewis to do it. He would have come back from the brink of extinction to do it. I mean, like, honestly, like in 2016 and 2017, I never thought we'd see Fury again. And I thought that if he did come back, he'd be a shell of himself. I mean, the fact that he has the one missing piece from Undisputed now in 2022 is crazy. Wonder if AJ will ever lack motivation, considering his next fight will be his first without a world title in 7 years. I know but that might do him good, man. That might do him good. Thoughts on Cully sign-up matchroom? Good move, good move. I'm hoping that they bring boxing back to Ireland now with that. He kind of hinted that there'd be something in the Tree Arena, and yeah, I really hope that's the case. I really hope that's the case. I'd really like to see a show on here. I really would. And shout out to Gary Cully. Shout out to Gary Cully. He seems a great guy. I don't know him personally, but he seems a cool guy. AJ telling everyone that it had to be jail standing next to a man who literally came from a war to fight. No self-awareness and nobody there to save him from himself. He was just saying some mad stuff. Why is Eddie trying to make us feel sorry for AJ? I think Eddie Hearn is just... I'm sorry, I have to read the next one. Imagine the smile on Khan's face when AJ... I could bet he loved every minute of it. I think I had to read that. I'm sorry, mate, for ignoring it, but I had to read that when I see it. I think he lost the plot. I'd say he absolutely loved it. I am genuinely divided on Shields versus Marshall. People think Marshall only has a punch. Marshall can box, man. She's not only just a puncher. She can box as well. And he was in the US broadcast last night. The man is living the dream. Man, he is, man. He is. And shout out to Ade. I thought AJ Fernandez was more involved than Garcia in the corner, which didn't help AJ. Gotta respect Usyk, man's on another level. Good luck for tomorrow, G-man. We will. I hope so. Who will be the perfect comeback fight for Joshua? Dylan White or Hrgovic? Dylan White or Hrgovic? Have a drink with us on a live when you hit 10K. That might be a good idea. Good job last night, G-Man. First time watching on a fight watch-along. Everyone super chat G-Man 10 quid when he hits 10K. No, I appreciate that, but that's on the people, not me. I'd be thanking them. Thank you for doing that. That's what I'd be doing. Toughest part of Dublin? I don't know. Probably Finglas, Kulak. Those two are pretty dumps. So, and they're pretty rough. So yeah, maybe there, or maybe Crumlin or somewhere like that where McGregor's from. Who wins out of Chris Andre, Hatman, outmatch Boxing Jamie in a round robin contest? Well, Hatman is a heavyweight and he boxed amateur and he done quite well. So I'd say out of all of them, he'd probably beat the crap out of all of us. He'd probably iron me out. G-Man, as AJ's performance last night changed your verdict? No, I think actually, I think Wilder would still win. I think straight down the pipe he'd knock AJ out. Yes, I do. Seeing Sam Jones want, yeah, I'd still watch it. Once you hit 10K, you'll need to get your own merch. I hear Ty and Boot knows. Yeah, I mean, like, YouTube have that T-Spot place linked to your channel. If you hit 10K, you can get the merch set up. Big up G-Man on a train back from London, but will catch your live when I get home. Shout out the Boxing Noise every single time. Big up to you. I hope you're well, man. Hope you enjoyed that. Who will be a likely sensible opponent for AJ? As I said, probably Hrgovic or White. Although I'm hearing rumours that Dylan White's fighting Daniel Dubois next. I mean, I'll watch it. Interesting to know. I mean, like, I'd love to know in the comment section, if Dylan White does fight Dubois, who do you have? It's the punch resistance of White I'm worried about, not him actually being shot. AJ spent a long time with McCracken, has learned nothing. Eddie Hearn turned him into a celebrity. AJ just walk away healthy. I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, I heard Kid Galahad was moving up to fight Maxie Hughes at 135, but there's been nothing about that. Fury and Usyk will be with... I agree. I agree. Ebony Bridges and Kell Brook boxing new power couple. I didn't see that. Nothing. Something, but it's something outside of here, and yeah, it's a big deal for me. So I hope it goes well. So wish me luck. Did you see Conor McGregor have a pop at Carl Froch? I did. Big up the Carl Froch. White needs a couple of wins if he faces AJ. Yeah, but like I think with White now, it's just about getting the bag. If 10k super chats 10 quid each, hang on. Yeah, I did see that. I seen that. We've seen AJ easily find the uppercut with orthodox fighters. I'm amazed he didn't try and set it up. I'm amazed. I think they might take Joshua all over the world. Yeah, Zhang wouldn't be a bad show either. Zhang isn't a bad show for an opponent, truth be told. You think Dubois would beat him? Apparently, Hrgovic used to give AJ problems to spar. That's true. They might not fancy it as a comeback, but Hrgovic's been looking terrible lately. I only seen the Figueroa fight from the Showtime cards. I haven't seen that yet. He definitely surprised me. And that kind of power in there against Chisora, I'd worry for Zhilei Zhang, man. I'd be worried about Zhilei Zhang based on that. That kind of power going in there against Chisora, I'd be a bit worried about that, man. I'd be a bit worried about that. That video I done on AJ having a problem. I mean, that thing just went from 0 to 60 real quick, that video. It's saying on YouTube that it's got 2,500 views, right? But if you check the YouTube studio, because that updates the video a little bit quicker, if you know what I mean, in terms of that gets the more realistic views, it's saying it's at 2,000 or 4,300. It's only been uploaded for, it's like getting 1,000 views an hour. Crazy. I didn't think it would do that well. Yeah, actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm seeing a lot of people say that Coley is now free from 258 management. So that's AJ's managerial company. And he was on the Sky Sports punditry team. So that would imply to me that he's done with DAZN and Matchroom. Because that to me is clear cut. I wonder why that is. I wonder what issues did he have with AJ, maybe, because they always seem very tight and very close. Where are we? I think Fury and Adrian both retire after their fights. Yeah, I think they will as well. Yeah, I seen Fraser Clark as well. He was on the team as well. Gotta have faith in yourself, G-Man. Smashing it. That's it, man. That's it. Has there ever been a massive fight at the Birds next stadium before a Western audience? At the Birds stadium, next stadium. You mean Spurs? Like Tottenham Hotspur? What's your biggest ever video in terms of views? The 3 reasons why, and it's not aged well, the 3 reasons why AJ beats Oleksandr Usyk. 52,000 views. Boom. Did you hear anything about Hrgovic's mental state? Remember commentators mentioned that he turned up to the press conference and went AWOL. I think he's got a lot on his plate. His dad's passed away recently, and yeah, I think that's probably a lot on his mind. You know, I've never lost a parent. I don't know what it's like, so I can only imagine. He's done with Matchroom as well. Yeah, man, he is done. Gone to Ben Shalom and Sky to greener pastures. I'll get the scoop on a Cody G-Man. Thank you, my dear. Appreciate that. Karma has all the connections. Lawrence of Cody. G-Man wants Usyk to beat Fury. I'm picking Fury, man. Probably soured his relationship with a few people. Yeah, that was a... And again, like, look, I will always say I'm the first to support a fighter. And I hate seeing promoters take the you-know-what out of fighters. But a Coley should be thanking Eddie Hearn with everything for what he's done for him. Because a Coley literally, I mean, again, I said, where do you ever see a fighter have 2 stinkers in the space of a year and the promoter still be willing to work with them and still push them? Yeah, man, he shouldn't have said that about Hearn. Whereas it's in Beijing. See Chisora going over to Beijing. It'd look weird. Chisora in China have a live audience show when you hit 10K. I'm sure a few fans would throw a few quid in for a venue. I'd have to go over to the UK for that then. And that could be soon, man. You never know. Before the end of the year, I'd have to go over to the UK for that because the majority of my subs are from the UK. Maybe me and Ade would do a show together or something like that. Maybe something like that I'd do for, who knows. Maybe we do a show together. Hrgovic looked like he was on. I wonder how much of it was from the blow to the top of the head he got hit with. Maybe that was some of it because, you know, I'd say maybe that might have played a part in it. Maybe, even though it shouldn't have been called a knockdown, I think it might have played a part in it because, you know, his equilibrium could have been off and because he just looked so disconnected from then on. What's the problem with AJ? Seems so smug. I think the fact is that Carl Froch at one point was the guy in British boxing. You know, he was the man. He was the man in British boxing. And AJ came along and he kind of stepped up to the stage and he became that guy. So I think that's really all it was. I think that he literally is just jealous. Not jealous, maybe just peeved off because AJ is the guy who's taken over from him and not just taken over from him. He's gone one step further. I think that's mainly what it is. IG Man, new to boxing YouTube. Is the heavyweight division dead now if Fury retires? Now, the heavyweight division still has plenty of up-and-comers, mate. There's plenty of up-and-comers. Have no fear of that. Chisora versus the Big Bang would be fun. I think Chisora would get knocked out. Stank out the O2 in Wembley, but still gets a title shot on pay-per-view. Hearn did a lot for him. Got a watch and everything. Now, I'm always one for favouring the fighter. Always. But that one I was thinking, that was a bit harsh. Hrgovic's poor performance might work in his favour. Opponents more willing. That's a good example. That's a good point. He could be more willing to face Hrgovic now based upon that performance. You just don't know. A lot of people might have thought not really worth the risk. Then they look at that and think, I can beat this guy. Froch needed George Groves in there, the troll. Yeah, I think he sound, and he did. They asked him about that in the. It was before I went. I think it was after Badu Jack fought. They asked about McCracken, and you know he was very complimentary of Rob McCracken. They all were, truth be told, but Carl Froch more so. So that could be another part of it as well. You ever watch Porky's Corner? Do you rate any of his guests? Not really, mate. I know his channel, but I never really watched it, to be honest with you. I think Froch is also jealous that AJ got and Froch never got. Yep. I think that's mainly all it is. I think that he just looks at AJ and thinks, oh, you stole my mantle. You took over from me and you're doing even better than me. So I think that's mainly why he's peeved off at him. Didn't he delete WhatsApp texts to Anthony Joshua as well and stuff like that? How about Huey? Shades of, oh man. I think they offered Huey Fury to Anthony Joshua years ago. I think it was 2016, before he fought Molina. And he didn't take it then. But I'd say he'd probably take it now. I feel sorry for AJ. He wanted to win so badly. I don't get why AJ started talking about his past struggles. He was an Olympic gold champion, had an amateur experience. Usyk's been going through much more. I think it was just raw emotion. It was a weird one. It was really, really, really weird. To me, that was just a really, really weird one. British heavyweight boxing doesn't have much hope after this era. I don't see any special prospects coming through. British heavyweight boxing, I mean, it's an interesting one. I don't really know what they're going to do from then on. To me, it's just the British one is a strange one. Yeah, I don't really see many kind of guys up and coming. I know Dubois has a title, but I mean, he's still fairly unproven. Completely unrelated. What's your opinion on Gassiev? Gassiev's looked all right at heavyweight. He's just so injury prone. I don't know why. He's just so injury prone. But Gassiev is 28 years old. He doesn't look 28. He looks flipping a lot older than 28, but he is only 28 years old. Amazingly. I don't know how he is, but how he looks so old for that age. Because you look at Gassiev, you think this guy's in his like 50s or 60s. But no, 28, apparently. Apparently he's only 28. 207 in the building. If you could, lads and lassies, hit the old like button. Smash the old like button. Imagine if Huey beats AJ on points. Oh, man. Shades of... I remember Mick Henderson in the interview. I mean, what the... was that? That was Beautiful, flawless. It was shades of Ali in the big suit with the dicky bow on. He looked like a sausage. You know? Did anyone see? Yeah, I seen it. Smash the like button. Exactly. Yeah, he looks 48. I don't know. He's been living. He obviously must be living the good life over there in Russia. Is the DAZN in financial trouble after AJ's loss? I doubt it very much. I doubt it. I'm sure they've got a contingency plan in place. We'd all be saying, Huey's a ledge. Oh yeah, Huey's a ledge. Mick Hennessy. Yeah, man, shout out to Mick Hennessy. If Fury doesn't lean on Usyk, yeah, he needs to do. I know it's not. I don't like seeing it because I think that it is illegal, but that's how he beat him. He'd slow down his rhythm and just use his size on him. Is Mick Hennessy finished? Not on Channel 5 anymore. I don't know. Truth be told. That's the honest to God's truth. I don't know. He doesn't seem to be doing much on Channel 5 anymore. I'm no fanboy, but acting like he's done. He lost to a special fighter. He did indeed. Have you seen Akhmadaliev? I reckon he's a boogeyman at 160. He's going to be good at 160. He's going to be really, really, really good at 160. Yeah, it's not often. Gassiev is the same passport maker as these guys. As those guys. What's your top 3 boxing channels on YouTube? Excluding myself. Top 3. Chris Andre, Hatman, and Jamie. Punch Perfect. They've been my 3. They're my 3 guys. They're my 3 go-to channels. Big up to Chris Andre every single time. Shout out to him. Massive, massive shout out to Chris Andre. And anyone admit, like, there's loads of. I was actually thinking for a few weeks of just doing a video on channels that I like to watch, if you know what I mean. So, like, people like Chris, Outmatch, Dell, Jamie, people like that, and just say, like, I like him for this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason. I was thinking of doing that for a while now. Because some of them are smaller, so it would help build them as well, which I'd love to do. Be nice to see some smaller channels get some exposure, exposure. Make it out like I'm a fucking celeb or something, but you know what I mean? Like, get a bit of something. Will Boxing Gossip ever come back? His knowledge was on point. I doubt it, mate. I doubt it. I think that it's been 4 years now, hasn't it, since he's done a video. I think if he was gonna, he would have done it by now. And I shout out to Boxing Gossip. I did enjoy his videos back in the day when he was doing them. I don't know why he stopped. He stopped when he was on. Well, I think I have more now than he ever did. Not saying that to brag, but you know what I mean. But he was doing pretty well. So he just stopped so random. I think he was on like 7.5 or something like that subs when he stopped. So I don't know why. I could not tell you why. Chris Andre has ridiculous technical boxing knowledge. Does he have some background in training or something? Not really. He just got a very good eye for talent. Is Chris Andre Hatman? I've met Chris. He's not Hatman. I've met him in person. So he's not Hatman. He's a great guy. That round 10 was just, that summed the fight up, mate. That literally just summed the whole fight up. That 10th round was Usyk's round, and that was it. He really just put his foot on the gas and just went in for the kill then. He went in for the kill after that point. You ever listen to Boxing Beats and Rhymes? Oh, yeah, no, I listen to Beats as well. I've listened to him plenty. Either. I don't like doing that, but it was just annoying me. What happened to Unrival? Mark, I still chat to Mark. He'd been talking about it for a while, and I think that I think he just grew out of. I don't think he enjoyed it anymore. So he pulled away, bring back Wingy Boxing, Wingy IFL, Wingy. Yeah, Mark was brilliant. He really was tremendous. He had great knowledge. That's the sad part about it as well. Like, there are people who've gone away, like Boxing Gossip and Mark, who were tremendous. Remember the Boxing Gossip podcast on a Wednesday that he used to do, and it's weird. Like, I was only thinking about it today. Like, in 2016, I was listening to a few channels, a good few, and like, I didn't know who Chris was at the time. Didn't know Dell. I knew Hatman. I think I listen to AJ, and that's kind of, they're the kind of only two now that are kind of still around from back then. Like, I obviously listen to Boxing Gossip, and he's gone. So it's crazy. It's crazy some of them have gone. And like I said, like with Boxing Gossip, I don't know the reasons. Only he knows the reasons why he left. But he was getting a decent sized channel at the time when he decided to call time on it, which kind of surprised me, because when I look at it now, it's like I'm starting to see the channel really take off. And when he was at my kind of size is when he decided to go. It's weird. But he was brilliant back in the day. Give market best, always, Joe, always. No, I never watched him. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Richard Dwyer, you always got to big him up. Shout out to the Dwyer every single time. Every time. Big up to Dwyer. Every time. BG was a decent channel, fair play. Yeah. And I'm sure he had his reasons for walking away. So, I don't know what they were. Miss him. Love it to see him come back, even if it was for a bit or something. But, did you catch Anna Woolley was calling him Nassim Named? No, I didn't see that. I had it muted for the whole fight. AJ can bounce back easily, wins over lames like Zhang, Valina. Oh no, Valina would be a good shout, actually. It's a good shout. Valina would be an interesting one. The movement of Fury and Usyk would be like watching me mother's twin tubs watchers. Jesus. I suppose when I get the sense the other half might not have liked him spending much time on the channel, maybe wrong. I mean, we can only speculate, man. We can only speculate. I wouldn't speak for him. He's obviously not here to speak on it. I wouldn't ask. All I know is I enjoyed him. He's no longer doing videos. That's his own choice. It is what it is. Wish him best of luck and everything else he does. People, we're just under the hour, but I have some stuff to do now pretty much. I have to, like, not at home. I actually have to go out. But obviously we'll have review of the week tomorrow. I will leave it there. Hope you guys can wish us a bit of luck for tomorrow, and fingers crossed. I'm not going to tell what it is because it's personal, but hopefully everything, I'm crossing everything. Like, if I could cross my thumbs, there you go. Everything goes well. So people, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. There's 193 in the build. If you haven't already, smash the like button. Hit subscribe if you're new. We are getting this close to 9K. I checked there, we're at 8,965. So we're, 35 subs away from 9K? Come on. We can do it. Good luck, man. Good luck. We get there. We get there. So people, for now, I'm going to leave you all the best. Whatever you're up to, I wish you luck. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it every single time. I'll leave it there. Shout out to Joe, the lovely Karma. Shout out to you every time, my dear. For now, lads and lasses, I'll leave you with that. You'll see it tomorrow, review of the week. Have that ready to go. Nearly finished. I'll finish it this evening. For now, I'll talk to you.